Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah, all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Thaba Shem Shad, all the sisters. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible. And we are not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite group. If you are not in the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA, then you are not in the truth. You understand? If you're learning from one of these off-brand groups, you understand? Just because you know you're an Israelite don't mean that you're in the truth. You understand? As many brothers and sisters walked the earth when Christ was here that knew that they was Jews and knew that they was Israelites, but yet they were still drinking lean. You understand? Still sleeping with women outside their race. You understand? Still doing things like brothers and sisters in the world do. The only difference is they knew that they was Jews back then. You understand? Just because you know you a Jew don't mean you in the truth. You understand? Unless you in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, which is the only organization on this earth set up by the Most High to teach this Bible. You understand? Today we're going to get into clean and unclean. You know, a lot of people have been asking questions lately about things that you know, what it means to be clean and what it means to be unclean. So today we're going to go into those scriptures. You understand? In the meantime, I see a couple of people have checked in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. You understand? We're going to go ahead and get into it. If you have any questions on topic, if you have any questions off topic, then we'll just save them for another time, or if we have time, I can address them all at the end of class. You understand? Alright, and of course, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and share this video on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, email. You understand? Send it to everybody in your contacts list. Let's get these views and these likes and these subscriptions up. Again, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. All right, so we're going to start in Leviticus chapter 10. We're going to start at Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10. You understand? A lot of brothers and sisters, we go to the Christian church, been going to the Christian church all our life. You understand? Ever since we was kids, we've been going to the church. You understand? But yet, in our adulthood, we still have no understanding whatsoever about what the Lord classifies as clean and unclean. You understand? And it's always been a part of our culture to go by what's clean and unclean. You understand? Even when you look at black culture today, you still see remnants of that practice amongst our people. You understand? And see, our oppressor, it's never been a part of his culture to decipher between what's considered clean and unclean. In fact, the other nations, none of the nations have that understanding. You understand? All the way down to the Moabites. You understand? You look at the Chinese man, he done started a whole world pandemic. You understand? Not knowing the difference between clean and unclean. You understand? He got the whole world sick. You understand? Off of not having any type of understanding of what is considered clean and what is considered unclean. You understand? But, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand, the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord gave us that understanding. You understand, that we may decipher between what's considered clean and what's considered unclean. You understand? Now, what's going on in China gives you a prime example. It's a prime. That should be every black man's example. We should learn from the Chinese man's mistakes. We should learn from our oppressors' mistakes. You understand? We should learn from the mistakes of all these other nations. We should learn from this whole coronavirus mess. You understand? And the first thing we should learn is that we shouldn't just be eating things just because we think they taste good or because our oppressor says it's a delicacy. You understand? When there is a difference between what is considered clean and what is considered unclean. You understand? So we're going to get into it. We're going to start. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You understand? I like starting there because it just lays the framework. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 says, "For thou art a holy people." You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you are a holy people. You understand? I know the world like to classify us as criminals, thugs. You understand? Super predators. You understand? They got all type of names for us. Niggers, coons, wetbacks, spicks, porch monkeys. You understand? They got all type of names that they want to classify us as. But according to the Most High, according to the Bible, you are a holy people. You understand? Moses was a holy person. You understand? Moses was a black man. You understand? All the prophets of the Bible were black men. All right? It says, "For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power." It says, "Thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people to himself." You understand? He chose us to be a special people. You understand? When he chose us for that special purpose, you understand? He, think about brothers, think about when you choose a woman. You understand? When you choose a woman, there's certain things that you're going to teach her and certain things that you're going to, let her know that you ain't just telling everybody. You understand? Like certain knowledge on how to get certain wealth and certain, build certain type of things. There's certain knowledge that you give to your woman, you understand, to keep her, her to basically protect her, to make sure she's taken care of. You understand? There's things that you would educate your rib on. You understand? So the Most High treats the children of Israel the same way a brother would treat his rib. You understand? So he chose us to be a special people. You understand? Unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You understand? He chose us to be above all the people that are on the face of the earth. And that includes that disgusting Chinese man. You understand? Over there eating dogs, cats, rats, live octopus. You understand? Bat soup, pangolin soup. You understand? Eating raw frogs, live animals. Eating them while they're alive. Digesting while it's still moving. You understand? That's what these other nations are doing. And the Lord chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be above those nations. You understand? He gave us certain knowledge to keep us above these other nations. You understand? By knowing the difference between what is clean and what is unclean, then we'll never be worried about some type of economic collapse due to a worldwide pandemic amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because at that point, we would understand the difference between clean and unclean. You understand? Which the Lord clearly did not educate the Moabites on. He did not educate Chinese people on what is clean and what is unclean. You understand? He did not educate our oppressor on what is clean and what is unclean. You understand? So we living in times, if you haven't noticed, we are living in times where the Lord is judging this world for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So we need to start paying attention and taking heed to what we teach in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And stay away from things that are considered unclean. You understand? Such as the amongst black people, the main thing that we need to let go of is eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? Those are things that black people love. But all of those things are considered unclean. You understand? Eating a pig is no different than eating a bat. You understand? It's the same amount of disgusting. It's the same. It's just as disgusting to eat a pig as it is to eat a bat. You understand? And guess what? That bat carried that coronavirus. And it passed it on to another animal that was considered unclean. And then those animals were consumed, and now humans now carrying the coronavirus. You understand? So with that, we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10. It says Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10. And that ye may put a difference between holy and unholy. You understand? This is why the laws, statutes, and commandments are given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? They're given to us so that we can decipher between what is considered holy and what is considered unholy. You understand? And like the Lord said that we are a holy people. So by keeping these laws, that makes us a holy people. You understand? By not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, that makes us a holy people. Because we understand the law, statutes, and commandments. And by keeping those law, statutes, and commandments, it makes us holy. These laws help us to identify between what is considered holy and what is considered unholy. You understand? So that these law, statutes, and commandments, see, the reason why the Christian pastor don't want to teach the law, statutes, and commandments is because if the Christian churches start teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, then people going to start being able to identify these Christian churches as unholy establishments, because these Christians do not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? You'll see in the Bible where it says the Lord says not to eat the pig, but yet you run up in there on Sunday dinner and they got pig on the altar, praying over the pig, eating ham with the pineapple slices on it. You understand? It seemed like every holiday that we celebrate in America, we got some type of swine to commemorate it. You understand? We got the Easter ham, the Christmas ham, the Thanksgiving ham. You understand? The 4th of July, we eating baby back ribs. You understand? Up in D.C. and Virginia area, they eating crab, shrimp, lobster, and all that on the grill. You understand? In Louisiana, they eating crawfish. You understand? All these things we commemorate our precious holidays by eating all these unclean foods. You understand? But because the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord punishes us for that. He punishes us by making us number 1 in heart disease. He punishes us by making us number 1 in diabetes, number 1 in hypertension. You understand? Number 1 in gout and all these other diseases that plague blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? It's because we choose to disobey the Most High. You understand? Whether we do it by knowledge or do it by ignorance, it don't matter. We disobeying the Lord, and the Lord gonna come see about you for that. You understand? I'm gonna start again. It says, and that ye may put a difference between holy and unholy, and between clean and unclean. You understand? So these laws was laid down for us so that we can decipher between what is holy and what is unholy, what is clean and what is unclean. You understand? So we're going to get further into it. You understand? We're going to go to Leviticus 11. We're going to talk about foods that are considered unclean. You understand? Because a lot of people don't know. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters just don't know. You understand? But after today, we're gonna clarify it. You understand? Because I want to really drive this home, because these are the reasons why the world is plagued right now. Why they shutting down and quarantining state after state. Why we about to get quarantined here in South Carolina. It's because people in this world have no idea of the difference between clean and unclean. But in the I.S.U.P.K, we practice that. We practice these laws, statutes, and commandments. We teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to keep these laws in order to be able to understand the difference between what is considered clean and what is considered unclean. You understand? Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel. Now I'm gonna stop right there for a second. Everybody, all the Christians love to say, you know, God loves everybody. You understand? The Bible is for everybody. But right here, the Lord is talking to Moses. And the Lord told Moses, he spoke to a specific person and gave this person specific orders. He told this person to speak unto the children of Israel. He didn't say go before the whole congregation of the world. He didn't say go to Pharaoh and teach him this. You understand? He didn't say go get the Egyptians and the Chinese and he didn't say all that. He said go to the children of Israel. You understand? He chose the children of Israel. The Most High cares about us eating what's clean and unclean. He gave us this knowledge so that we don't have to die of coronavirus and SARS and the Ebola virus and heart disease and diabetes. That's why he gave us these laws. You understand? I'm going to read on. Verse 2 says, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So we're about to go down and break down all the different beasts, the animals that we are allowed to eat. And yes, for all you vegans out there, all the animals that we are allowed to eat. You understand? All the living, breathing things that we are allowed to eat. You understand? Sidebar about veganism. Veganism ain't even about being healthy. Veganism is a protest. It's a protest against companies that use animals in their products. It's a boycott of animal products. That's all veganism is. When you buying vegan cheese and vegan burger patties, none of that is any healthier than eating a real burger patty. You understand? The whole point in veganism is a protest against companies that sell animal products. You understand? I'm going to read on. Verse 3 says, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. All right, so we're going to break that down. You understand? It says, so whatsoever parteth the hoof. I'm going to give you an example of a cloven-footed animal. What a cloven foot means. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to pull up a picture of a cloven hoof. If my phone stop acting stupid. All right, here we go. All right, so this is an idea, an example of what a cloven foot is. Any animal that has a cloven foot. That right there is a cloven foot. Means it is split on the hoof. You understand? Such as cows have split hooves, goats have split hooves, deer have split hooves. You understand? You know, there's many different animals that split the hoof, but it goes in a little more specific. It says, and cheweth the cud. You understand? So it has to be cloven-footed. So far what we got is the animal has to be cloven-footed, and it has to chew the cud. And if it does those two things, then it is good to eat. So what does it mean to chew the cud? I'll explain. So a cow is a perfect example of an animal that chews the cud. You understand? And the way a cow eats its food is it eats things like grass, hay, grain, corn, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it has has multiple stomachs in it. And what it'll do is it'll eat its food, and then it'll vomit it and eat it again, and it'll process it multiple times before it, is a part of its digestive process. You understand? So it really breaks down the foods that it's eating, and it eats things like shrubbery. It's pretty much, it eats all vegetables. It doesn't eat meat or anything like that. You understand? But it eats hay, grass, corn, different types of plants and leaves and things like that. And the way it digests that food, that's what it means by chewing the cud. You understand? So there are animals, and the reason why it specifically says that, there are animals that do not chew the cud. And there are animals that chew the cud, but are not cloven-footed. You understand? We're going to read on. It says, nevertheless, this is verse 4. These shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud. So it's back to what I was saying. There are some animals that chew the cud that you cannot eat. You understand? We're going to read on. It said, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. So the camel, you see what I'm saying? The camel, he chews the cud, but he does not have a split hoof. You understand? He does not have a split hoof. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up what a camel's foot looks like. Camels have like paws. Let's see, camel foot. Maybe they do have hoofs. Give me 1 second. So the camel, he processes his food similar to how a cow does, but he is not cloven-footed, or he doesn't have a cloven hoof. You understand? And yeah, he has like a toe-looking thing with some nails on it. You understand? So this is what the camel's foot looks like. My phone is tripping. All right, here we go. So this right here is a camel's foot. You understand? He has a cloven foot, but he does not have a hoof on his foot. So he is not cloven hoofed, like the Bible says. You understand? He has like a paw looking thing. You understand? He doesn't have a hoof. He doesn't set his foot down on a hoof the way a cow does, or the way a goat does, or a sheep does, or a deer. You understand? He sets his foot down on a paw, on a paw-looking thing. You understand? So the camel is unclean unto us. You understand? We're going to read on. It says, verse 5. It says, and the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. You understand? So the coney is another animal that is unclean. You understand? And I'm going to pull up an example of a coney. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. All right, so if you go on Google and type in coney, you're going to get hot dogs. But what a coney is, it's just like a rabbit. It's like a rabbit type animal. All right, so here we go. So a coney is like a rabbit. So the coney is like a rabbit type animal. You understand? So rabbits is another animal, you know what I'm saying, like it said, because it cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, that animal is unclean to you. You understand? Then it goes on and talks about the hare. The hare is a rabbit. It says, verse 6 says, and the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. You understand? So the rabbits, conies, camels, all these animals so far are all unclean to you. Now verse 7, now this is the one that all Christians hate. This is the Christians' worst nightmare. You understand? Christians put bacon bits on their bacon wrapped pork sandwiches. You understand? It says, verse 7 says, and the swine. Now, we all know what a swine is. You understand? That's that good old fatback that they love to eat down south. They like to eat that fatback. I had fatback one time, and I didn't even understand it. I didn't know what you're supposed to do with it. You know what I mean? Because you don't eat it like bacon. They just put it in their mouth and keep it there. You understand? But down south, they love fatback and bacon and pork and, you know what I mean, chitlins and pig feet and all that stuff. All of that is the swine. You understand? We're going to read on why the swine is considered unclean. It says, though he divide the hoof. So the swine, okay, it fits that criteria. It has a split hoof. You understand? We're going to read on. It says, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. So the swine does not chew the cud. You understand? The swine, a pig will eat anything that you put in front of him. You understand? If you got garbage juice soaked paper, that pig will eat it. They use the mafia used to use pig farms to get rid of dead bodies. You understand? And then them pig farmers would cut them pigs up and turn that into bacon and send that bacon straight to the ghetto. You understand? And all them pig feet and all that, a lot of them animals eating anything that crosses path. You understand? They feed pigs on farms. You feed a pig slop, which is fermented garbage. You understand? Piles of any and everything that you put in the bucket. That's what the pig eats. You understand? It will eat anything. You understand? And it won't kill it. You understand? A pig is one of the few animals on the earth that can get bit by a rattlesnake and not even be fazed by it. You understand? So the swine is unclean unto you. You understand? And guess what? The Lord didn't tell these things to the whole nation, to the whole world. He told these things to the children of Israel. You understand? He told us that so that we can be better than these other nations, so that we can know better than these other nations, so that we can be stronger and mightier than all these other nations. You understand? We're going to read on. Verse 8. It says, of their flesh shall ye not eat. So we is not supposed to eat no pig's flesh. The bacon bits, the fat from the pig, you understand, all of that is considered pig's flesh. The pig skins, you understand, the bag of pig skins that brothers and sisters love to eat with the hot sauce, all of that is unclean unto you. You understand? All of that is their flesh that we should not eat. It says, and their carcass shall ye not touch. So carcass meaning their dead flesh. You understand? We are not supposed to touch their dead flesh. Their flesh is considered unclean. You understand? See, we got a question. Says, kind sir, the pig is the animal garbage disposer. Eats any and everything. That's correct. It is a garbage disposal. You understand? And Christians love to bring up the scripture where it says, all animals or everything was made for us. You understand? The pig was made for us too. You understand? The pig was made with a purpose. And guess what? We got to have something to do with our garbage. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to just let our stuff just sit there and rot. You understand? We take it and throw it in the bucket and feed it to the pigs. You understand? After everybody done eating, we just throw it in the trash can. And then once that trash can get full with the rotten banana peels and all that, you know what I mean? You ain't got to call the garbage man and pay him money every week. You just dump it out there in the pig trough, and them pigs gonna have a heyday. You understand? So that's the purpose of a pig, It's to keep your house clean. That's part of keeping keeping your house clean. You understand? That's the purpose that it serves. You understand? It don't mean that you're supposed to just because the Bible says for us doesn't mean you got to kill it and eat it. You understand? That's not what it means. Guess what? The crabs and the shrimp and the lobster serve a purpose too. You understand? And you know what? When we had that oil spill down there in the Gulf of Mexico, it was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago. You understand? There was an oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, and all of this millions of tons of oil was spilling into the ocean, polluting the ocean. And all of a sudden you had an influx or a rise of shrimp, crab, and lobster migrating to the Gulf of Mexico. You understand? Because those things, they eat the waste that's in the ocean. You understand? And after that oil spill, you had shrimp popping up the size of an Xbox. You understand? Because they was down there eating good when that oil spill happened. You understand? Because all those types of animals, those things are a natural cleanser for the ocean. It keeps the ocean balanced. You understand? When other animals put their waste in the ocean, there's another animal that eats it. Just like how when you get a fish tank, a lot of people, when they buy a fish tank, one of the things that they do to keep their fish tank clean is what? They put a little catfish in it. And you know what? They feed all the other fish. The other fish, do their business in the fish tank. And then the catfish eats it all up. Because that's what he does. You understand? So we're going to read on. All of those things serve a purpose. You understand? Those are the purposes that it serves. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to take the crab out the ocean and crack it open. You understand? It means it's going to keep the ocean clean for you. Him and all his family is going to keep the ocean clean so that you don't have dead whales washing up on shore. You understand? So we're going to read on. It says, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. We'll read on to verse 9. It says, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. So, for all my seafood lovers, you understand? We about to go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. You understand? I love seafood. I love all types of fish. You understand? Brothers, I seen brothers eat the whole fish head with the eyes and everything. I can't do it. I can watch somebody do it, but I can't do it. You understand? But all of that, you understand? We're going to get down to the nitty gritty of this seafood. You understand? Because you hear a lot of sisters, you try to take a sister, trying to take a sister out to eat in the world, but that's like Russian roulette. Like, what you like to eat, baby? She's like, oh, I like seafood. Okay, now you need to specify. What kind of seafood you like? Then they be like, oh, shrimp, crab, lobster, all of that. Like, you know what? I'm just going to, go ahead and just, I'm going to call somebody else. Don't even worry about it. I don't think we're going to work out. You understand? And see, all of that stuff, we're going to get down to it. You understand? Because all of that stuff matters. Just think about it. The bat is unclean, and them Chinese people was eating the hell out of it. You understand? Got the whole world infected. Millions of people probably going to die in this world. All because, the Chinese man want to go and eat a filthy, disgusting flying rat. You understand? So we're going to read on. It says, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins. So guess what? Fish have fins. You understand? Fish have fins. And then it says, and scales. Guess what? Fish have fins and scales. In the seas. So like in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. You understand? So guess what? If it got fins and scales, throw it on the plate, fry it up, put some gravy on it, give it to me with some hot sauce and a piece of bread. You understand? If it got fins and scales, well, guess what? If it don't got fins and scales, you understand? We're gonna read on. Verse 10 it says, "And all that have not fins and scales in the seas." So guess what? Whatever's about to get brought out, it's talking about the crab. The crab don't have fins and scales. It's talking about lobster. The lobster don't have fins and scales. It's talking about shrimp. Shrimp don't have fins and scales. Scallops. Scallops don't have fins and scales. Oysters, clams, crawfish, all of that stuff. None of it has fins and scales. All the things that black folks love to eat. We love to go in the Red Lobster and just load up a plate full of abominations. You understand? All of that stuff is what we talking about when it says, "And all that have not fins and scales in the rivers." You understand? Because the crawfish, you don't find them in the ocean. You find them in the rivers and things like that, in the riverbeds and all that, swampy areas and creeks and things like that. You understand? It says in the rivers, and all that move in the waters, and of any living thing that which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Good night. You are eating a plate full of abominations. When you go to Joe's Crab Shack and you get that little crab bucket with all them little spider legs coming out of it, you eating a bucket full of abominations. You understand? All right, so it says, Brother Trey says, what does abomination means? All right, so, see, I'm going to try to, we got a dictionary? All right, give me 1 second. We're going to get the definition of what abomination means. So we're gonna get that definition to you in just a second. All right. So verse 11 says, "They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh." So the crab, you is not supposed to crack that thing open and pull the little meat stick out. You ain't supposed to eat that. You understand? That is an abomination unto you. You understand? The crab, the lobster tails, you know, when you pull the lobster tail, the giant roach butt, you understand? Pull the little white thing out with the pink skin on it. You ain't supposed to eat that. That is an abomination unto you. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know, when you come into the truth and you go long periods of time, once you stop eating that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? You go a while without eating that stuff, and then you go and smell that stuff. Man, it smells disgusting now. It smells like septic tank water. When you smell shrimp boiling on the stove. When you smell all that stuff cooking, man, it smells horrible. You understand? And you sitting there like that sister that used to be on Facebook, the mukbang seafood eater sister. She used to be up there cracking all them lobster tails and shrimp and dipping it in that little sauce, eating it. Man, I bet that whole house just smelled like toilet bowl. You understand? So like it wasn't.
It wasn't in the zone about this.
Wasn't in there. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me pull it up right here.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You just like you want to read it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Abomination. A thing that causes disgust or hatred.
So a thing that causes disgust or hatred. You understand? That's like it's a very disgusting thing. Imagine seeing something that turns your stomach. You understand? That's how the Most High looks at pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? That's something that should turn your stomach when you see it. You shouldn't look at a lobster and be like, man, I sure would like to eat that nasty looking thing. You understand? You don't look at roaches like that. We look at roaches like an abomination. You walk into, you imagine coming home from the club. You done had a few drinks in you. You done met your sister at the club, and you get home to her. Go back to her crib, walking in the house chilling. She be like, "I'll be right back. I'm going in the bathroom." Then all of a sudden, you see 5, 6 roaches crawling across the wall. You immediately want to get up out of there because those roaches are an abomination unto you because it causes disgust. You understand? You read on just a little bit. Go for Salaki.
An abomination in English is that which is exceptionally loathsome, hateful, sinful, wicked, or vile.
You understand? So that's basically in a nutshell what abomination is. Something wicked, evil, sinful, or vile. You understand? In the context of what we're talking about, it's all of the above. You understand? It's extremely sinful and wicked to eat what the Lord told you not to eat. You understand? Especially after you just read it in the Bible. You understand? So what sense does it make? That's why it's so asinine to believe that God did away with the laws. You understand? The shrimp and the lobster and the crab, that's like the oil filter of the sea. You understand? Do you crack off the oil filter in your car after you didn't gave it an oil change and look at that like that thing right there just need to be thrown in a pot and boiled? You understand?
What do you think will happen to your car if you don't put an oil filter in there?
Right, exactly. You understand? You eating all the oil filters. You understand how your car gonna run without the oil filter? You understand? Imagine if all the shrimp, crab, and lobster was to just they go extinct because everybody eating them. You understand? The ocean would become too toxic to even sustain life. You understand? It would become too toxic because we're eating things that are abominations. You understand? So abomination is something filthy, wicked, and disgusting. Something vile. You understand? Something evil, sinful, and wicked. You understand? That is what an abomination is. That's what it means. You understand? So Trey, does that answer your question? Go ahead and let me know if you need any further explanation. You understand? So it says, verse 11 says, "They shall be even an abomination unto you." You understand? "Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination." You understand? So their carcasses. You see dead, you see crab dead, see dead crabs and lobsters and shrimp and all that. That's an abomination unto you. I used to work in a restaurant, and in the restaurant they used to do. I used to wash dishes at this restaurant, and in the mornings, they would have the brothers in the kitchen doing the food prep, and I would walk by in the mornings, and them brothers would have these big huge, in restaurants they got them big huge sinks, the big old steel sinks, and in them big old steel sinks they have one sink full of shrimp, one sink full of lobster, one sink full of whatever, what was that? Crab legs. They just have sinks full of all this stuff, and I'm just sitting there walking by, just like, oh my goodness, I gotta smell all this all day while they cook this stuff all day. You understand? And like I said, when you go a while without touching that stuff, man, that stuff smells horrible. Like someone who don't eat shrimp, I don't even think you could stomach sitting down at a table eating with a woman who's eating shrimp right in your face. I couldn't do it. You understand? I couldn't do it. It'll take my appetite because just the smell alone, and then you come up and think you're going to get in my face with that shrimp breath. You understand? To me, it smell like manure. You understand? The brothers and sisters in the truth, it smells like, I'm trying to use it. It smells like crap. Like doo-doo. That's what it smells like. You understand? Because that's basically what they eat. You understand? That's what shrimp eat. You talking about, people talking about the tilapia. You know what I mean? It's only certain tilapia to get fed feces, but guess what? That shrimp you eat, that's the only thing it eats, no matter where you catch it at. That lobster that you eating, guess what? Guess what it eats? That lobster eats feces. You understand? That is the natural diet of a lobster, is to eat feces. You understand? So that's why these things are an abomination unto us. You understand? Guess what? The Chinese man, he don't know no better because the Lord didn't choose him. You understand? The Lord, that's how cold the Most High is.
Want some strong drink?
Oh yeah, Most High. That's how cold the Most High is. You understand? Because he's like, man, don't make my kids, I don't care what they eat. They can go eat battery acid for all I give a damn. But my children, oh nah, y'all don't eat that. He put us up on game. He showed us the mysteries of the whole earth, how the whole earth work. You understand? By giving us a difference between what is clean and unclean. You understand? Because guess what? Just knowing that, the pig is unclean to you, but yet the pig serves a purpose, makes you look for creative ways to put them things to use.
Right.
You understand? Instead of just eating it. I mean, imagine a man who looks at a horse and be like, man, that horse sure makes some good old horse steaks. Go ahead.
They in India, they be eating horses, man.
Good night.
They be cooking them like goddamn, like lamb or something.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah, they be cooking horses, bro.
Oh,
like,
my God.
In the market, man. On the marketplace.
Mm.
Camels, all that.
Good night. See, I didn't, man. I know I seen them East Indians eat monkey brains. Man, that's why it's so beautiful what the Most High did for us. You understand? That's why it's so beautiful. You understand? And I'm gonna tell you something. Like, this is just a theory of mine. You understand? And I'm still looking for confirmation of this. But prior to coming into slavery, a lot of brothers and sisters knew who we was. You understand? They knew that we was Israelites. They knew that we was Jews. They knew the law, statutes, and commandments. And on top of that, a lot of us knew why we were going into slavery on ships. Right. They remembered that prophecy in Deuteronomy and was it in the ship on the chain with the chains on them. Like, damn. But Moses called it. You understand? And guess what? I'll never forget it because I was a child when I went to the Blacks and Wax Museum in D.C. And in the Blacks and Wax Museum, you know what I mean? All that stuff is just burned in your brain because I seen these wax models of these Edomites shoving these cones. They used to have these big old cones that they used to shove in the slave's mouth. They used to take chisels and hammers and knock their teeth out. Take these cones and shove them in their mouth, and then they would pour pig fat. They used to make this stuff. It was made out of pig fat and molasses. And they used to stir it all up. It looked like throw up. And they used to pour it in these little funnels to force it down our throats. You understand? And the thing is that they were saying that the slaves would choose starvation rather than to go into slavery. They'd rather starve to death than to go into slavery. My theory is I disagree with that. Because I don't think they would rather starve to death than to go into slavery. I think what it was that they would rather starve to death than to eat pig's flesh. You understand? Because that's what they was forcing us. They was forcing pig's flesh in our bodies since they was bringing us over here. You understand? And brothers and sisters get a taste of that, be like, man, they got pork all up in that, man. They got pig fat all up in that molasses. And brothers and sisters stopped eating it. And you know what their answer to it was like, nah, you gonna eat this? They knock our teeth out our mouth, shove them cones down our throats, and forced it down our throats. You understand? I'll never forget that. You understand? And you can't tell me that's a migrant worker. You understand? A migrant worker don't have to go through that. That is a slave. That is a kidnapped victim. You understand? So to get back on topic, you understand? It says those things, those shrimp, crab, and lobster, pork, all that stuff, all those things are unclean to you.
Right.
You understand? We're going to read on to verse 12. It says, whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the water shall be an abomination unto you. So whatsoever, you understand? Whatsoever, out of all the animals in the ocean, if it don't have fins nor scales, it is unlawful. It is unclean. It is an abomination. Shark meat, abomination. Tuna fish, abomination. What's some other? Sea otters, sea lions, abomination.
Shark burger?
Yeah, shark. Yeah. Mahi.
Mackerel too. Mackerel. A lot of people eat mackerel.
Mackerel.
Yeah, I found out that was unlawful too.
Mackerel, unlawful. Oysters,
Halibut.
unlawful. Halibut, I don't even know what that is. Unlawful. You understand? I don't eat things I don't know what they is. You know, I ask them and they be like, huh, calamari. Oh yeah, calamari is definitely unlawful. You understand? Those are not onion rings. Those are unlawful. You understand? They are not onion rings. Listen, I worked in a restaurant that served calamari. And I'm going to tell you something. Prior to this, I had eaten calamari, many times. I was in the world, of course. But, at this restaurant I worked at where they actually served calamari, it wasn't like I never seen calamari get prepared. But working in this restaurant, I actually prepped calamari. I actually cooked it. And I'm going to tell you something, Mark. Calamari, first of all, it come in two pieces. When you prepping it come in two pieces. You got one piece that look like a big long condom. It looked just like a condom, like a thick condom. That's what it looks like. And it's kind of see-through, kind of white, huh? Like a used condom, yeah, like a heavily used condom. And what they do is they take that condom, the condom-looking thing, and then they lay it out flat and squeeze it squishily. Like you can't even really keep it still. You gotta have a real sharp knife to cut it. And then you just cut it in little slits. And those slits that you cut it in make little rings. But then you had the second part, which I didn't even know existed. I had no idea about this part. But the second part of it is all the tentacles of the squid. You understand? And so what they would do is they would take the tentacle, when you would order calamari, in some restaurants, when you order calamari, you might be thinking you're gonna get the onion ring looking calamari. But they're gonna bring you out a plate full of tentacles, deep fried tentacles. And that is altogether calamari. So it's like you eating octopus legs and fried condoms. You understand? All that stuff is unlawful. It's unclean unto you. You understand? So it don't have fins and scales. What's some other things that don't have fins and scales? Catfish. Catfish does not have fins and scales. And black folks, but me personally, even in the world, I never ate catfish like that. You understand? I never ate it just because of the bones. I usually eat the catfish. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. When you stay with family to live in the world, you got to ask every time they make fish. They be like, I don't know. I call Domino's. Oh, you don't know? All right, no sweat. You understand?
See, my people down in the country, they used to eat some shit called conch.
Conch.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
I think it might be like a mussel type of thing. Cause when I tasted it, it tasted like an oyster kind of thing, but it's called conch.
Man.
Yeah, and they eat that stuff down there like it's a delicacy.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, conch.
Man. Goodness, we about to find out what a conch is. We're gonna bring it out. We talking about clean and unclean.
Matter of fact, let me see.
You understand?
Let me see the keyboard.
Oh, yeah,
I'll probably come on the screen and put a picture. 'Cause I know it's some ugly looking thing. Some ugly.
And if you look at all the unclean foods, just look like they ain't supposed to be eaten.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look at a spider and be like, man, I sure would like to rotisserie that thing.
They be eating them things.
Yeah. They eat spiders?
Hell yeah. What's the things called? Tarantulas? They love tarantulas in like other countries and shit.
Man, oh man.
Oh,
See,
that's what it is.
yeah, I do not like spiders. I see a tarantula, I might have to shoot it. You understand? They got these things, like a sea, what's they call them, seashells?
It's coming like that, and they get it like that, and they cut it up in pieces. It look like that, they be cutting it up in pieces. Let's see, like pull up a dish.
I don't understand how people look at that and think that's food. Like that right there, man. That's why it's so important for us to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because I'm telling you, man, the Lord might mess around and put a disease on these pigs. And then didn't they have the swine flu going around one time? How was people catching the swine flu? You know what I mean? We gotta be careful, like, you know what I mean? I never heard of any diseases coming through that chicken except for salmonella. You know what I mean? That right there just let you know you better cook your food. You understand? Like even beef. Like, you know what I mean? You just cook your food. Like all the clean animals, all you gotta do is cook it. And you straight. Them unclean animals, man, just the fumes coming off of it while you cooking it is dangerous. You understand? So all these things are unclean unto us, man. You understand? We're going to read on. Verse 13 says, and these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. So what is a fowl? You understand? A fowl is like a bird. You know what I mean? Like the chickens, the hawks, the pigeons, the quails. You understand? And guess what? There are birds that are unclean unto us. You understand? We're going to get to it. It says, and these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. So the animals that are considered abomination, you understand, they are not to be eaten. They are not for human consumption. You understand? We're going to read on. It says the eagle is an abomination. The eagle. Now, I like eagles as a bird. You know what I mean? They very, you know what I mean? They fly high. You know what I mean? They got a gun named after them. You know what I mean? They're some bad boys.
Yes.
You understand? Them eagles are some bad mama jammas. You know what I'm saying? They fly in the sky. They like the eagles to me always seem like the lion of the sky. You know what I'm saying? And they some big massive birds. You understand? Them things, they got wingspans almost 7 feet wide. Them some big animals. You seen that Tony Baker video where the guy was he was commentating the devil that taught the eagle how to hunt deer. The eagle he had the eagle on his arm, sent the eagle off. The eagle went and grabbed the whole deer by the butt and took down the whole deer. You understand? Them eagles some bad boys. You understand? And guess what? You are not to make eagle legs and thighs and breasts and wings out of them bad boys. You understand? Them things are unclean unto us. They are abominations. You understand? It says, and the ossifrage. Now that right there, I'm going to have to look up what an ossifrage is. Okay, an ossifrage says it's a bearded vulture. Let me look that
How
up.
you spell that thing?
Ossifrage.
Oh, what? OSS.
OSSI, F is in Frank, R is in Romeo, A is in Alpha, G is in George, E is in Echo.
Oh, yeah.
Ossifrage.
Bearded vulture.
Bearded vulture. I think that's what we got down here in South Carolina. Nah, we ain't got these. These some big old ugly looking things. These things are like velociraptors. They don't even stand like they supposed to be eating.
Dang.
You understand? They kind of look like a dinosaur eagle. These some crazy looking birds, man. They got red eyes with the man. I can't look at that and think, boy, that'll make some good fried legs. You understand? Not that.
Wow.
You understand? Them things is unlawful. But guess what? I guarantee you, there's some devil somewhere off in these woods right now chomping on some ossifrage. Ossifrage.
Trying to get their hands on some ossifrage.
You understand? Them bearded vultures. You know what I mean? Them things are unclean unto you. And the osprey. You understand? We're going to look up the osprey. It's O-S-P-R-A-Y. I always thought an osprey was just a jet. It was the thing you call in on Call of Duty. You understand? The osprey gunner, the gunship.
It's another kind of predator bird.
Yes, another predator bird. Is it kind of like a vulture?
It's what it look like right there.
It looks kind of, yeah, I don't know, this thing looks crazy looking. Like an owl almost.
Kind of, right?
Nah, I don't know what the hell this thing look like. But it's unlawful. It's a crazy looking bird too. Look like he got an attitude.
I wonder where they find them at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely a predator, another predator bird. You understand? They some big birds too. The osprey. I see why they call it the osprey gunship, osprey gunner in Call of Duty now, because them some bad boys.
Alright, we was coming down like that right there. That
Good night.
coming down.
Yeah, you can hear them
That's
things.
what that thing look like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, them birds right there, those are birds of prey. They designed to come down and eat other unclean things. Look at them claws right there. Good night. Some crazy looking animals we pulling up on class today.
Mm-hmm.
And all these things are unlawful. You understand? That's right there is an osprey. That thing right there is unlawful. Don't eat it. Don't do it.
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination unto you. You understand? That right there is an abomination. You understand? And let's see what else. What else we got? We get back to that scripture, man. It says, and the vulture and the kite after his kind. You know, those are all unlawful. You understand? Every raven after his kind. I know here in South Carolina we got all type of ravens and blackbirds. You know what I mean? I know. In South Carolina, one of the things you hear a lot of for country folk is blackbird pie. You understand? They have you ever heard of blackbird pie?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, they be catching them blackbirds and make pie out of it.
Some like crows?
Well, I guess they call it crows. I guess they got crows, blackbirds, and ravens. I don't know. I know they call it blackbird pie. But, you know what I mean? All those things are unlawful. You understand? All right, and the owl. You know what I mean? And the nighthawk. I tell you what, owls, them some creepy animals to me. You understand? I remember one time I walked outside and I seen this big, huge owl sitting on the not on the mailbox, but on the clothesline. And this thing, if it was sitting on the ground, it'd probably be this high. This thing was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen nothing so big in my life. That was the biggest owl I ever seen. Like, this thing was a good 4 feet tall. You understand? When I walked outside, his back was to me. As soon as I came outside, it's over here, turned around like, whoop. I'm like, you know what? I'm calling sick to work today. My job gonna have to do it out. You understand? I'm not going out here and getting attacked by this giant owl over here to just turn around and look at me like a snack.
Right.
You understand? Them things, them owls, them whoos, the who owl is unlawful. They are unclean unto you.
birds too.
Huh?
They predator birds.
Yeah, they predator birds too. All these birds of prey are unlawful. Any animal that preys on another animal, in a nutshell, is unlawful. You understand? Lions, tigers, bears. You understand? Alligators. You understand? What was that? Rhinos. I didn't know they even ate rhinos.
Yeah.
You know, where do you cut at?
They eat whales too.
Good night.
Beyond that though, but yeah. They eat
Goodness gracious almighty.
dolphins.
You understand? Whales, dolphins. You understand? All that stuff is unlawful. Whales and dolphins ain't got fins and scales. They got fins. They don't have no scales, man. You understand? They don't have no scales. They got barnacles living on them, and you know what I mean? Like who? Man, like come on now. Like, huh? Barnacles, yeah. Barnacles. You understand? All right, so it says that every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, you understand, and the hawk after his kind. Like all of these are birds of prey. And the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl. You understand? All of those are different types of owls. You understand? And the swan. Here we go, the swan. I've seen in China, they eat all types of birds. You understand? They eat duck. Listen, I've never seen a duck get cooked before. But I tell you what, when you see a full duck cooked, that thing do not look like a chicken. And it do not look right. You understand? It look like a chicken with its legs spread. You understand? I can't even describe it. It's like a chicken, man. That thing just seeing a chicken and a turkey cooked up, it just make your mouth water. You see that duck, man, it look like a mutant. It don't look right. You understand? But all those things are unlawful. So the swan and the pelican and the gear eagle and the stork and the heron after her kind and the lapwing and the bat. You understand? That's a cut to all them Chinese people. You understand? The bat is unclean. It's an abomination unto you. You understand? I would hope black folks ain't out here eating bats. You understand? You understand? It says they eat crocodile too. Yeah, you right. Brothers and sisters love crocodile. You understand? I done been offered crocodile before.
Tastes like steak.
I don't know what it tastes like. Even in the world, I was disgusted with it. Like crocodile, I don't even want to even hit on crocodile. You know what I mean? Don't. You know what I mean? Just give me some chicken. You understand? Give me some steak, chicken steak. I'll take some deer meat. You understand? And here's the thing, man. Lawful food is good, man.
Sure is.
You understand? Lawful food is good. Just keep it lawful. Keep it legal. You understand? What's wrong with chicken, man? It's a million different ways you can cook chicken. You understand? There's so many different ways, man. Nobody on the planet does chicken like Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Our oppressor, man, if he could eat the chicken raw, he would. You understand? If there was no salmonella, he would eat that thing raw. You understand? But, man, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, then we got 12 tribes of chicken. I was talking about rib last night about Jamaican chicken, about Jamaican and Peruvian chicken. Talking about, I was telling about a place we go to in D.C. all the time, the El Pollo Loco. Is it El Pollo Loco? That's what it's called?
What you talking about?
The
Pollo
chicken.
Tropical? Pollo Tropical? What you mean? What do you ask? Is it a restaurant?
Yeah.
Pollo Tropical?
Oh, I thought it was called El Pollo Loco.
I think
I think they do have a place called Pollo Loco too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
just
okay.
Yeah, crazy chicken. Yeah, it's called
Yeah,
crazy
okay.
chicken.
It's I seen one in Florida one time.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, they have a place like that here in Greenville called the Golden Llama.
Oh yeah, I went there.
Oh, yeah?
That's Peruvian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
The golden llama.
The golden llama.
I met a Peruvian sister one time, and she told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
That's good.
that Peruvian chicken, man.
Ooh-wee, that rotisserie, they
Yeah.
spend that thing for hours in there.
Man,
Slow.
I'll tell you.
Ooh.
I can't wait for all 12 tribes to come together and just have all their chicken just laid out.
We gonna have a different day.
Man,
Each dish,
I don't even.
each culture.
Good night. The kingdom of heaven gonna be so glorious, man. Even right before the kingdom of heaven, we just together. You understand? As one empire separate, as one people separate from the other nations. That right there. If I got to come to this tent to get some jerk chicken in that tent to get some Peruvian, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
You understand? I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have that. You understand? We got a million different ways to do chicken. Right. Pollo does mean chicken in Spanish. Right. You understand? And chicken is good. Chicken is lawful. You understand? So it says, in the lapwing and the bat, all fowls that creep, going upon all fours, shall be an abomination to you. So that right there, you know, that a bat is an example of that. You understand? That's a bird that crawls on all fours. Because if you notice, like, you know how you see Batman's logo, it's got the wings, then the part that goes up like that. At that little peak at the top on the bat wing, they got little hands right there. Did y'all ever know that? You ever notice that? Bats got hands. Like they wings.
Yeah, at the end of the wing.
Yeah, at the top part of their wing, they got little hands. They crawl on their all fours and then jump up like Batman. The same way Batman do. You know what I mean? And so, you know, a bat is a good example of a fowl that crawls on all fours. You know, because you think about chicken ain't got all fours. He can't crawl around on his wings and his feet. You understand? But a bat can do that. You understand? Verse 21 says, yet these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet, that leap withal upon the earth. You understand? Even these of them ye may eat. The locust after his kind. So the locust, you know what I mean? As much as it might grow some of y'all out, guess what? Them things is lawful. You understand? As a matter of fact, I heard if you take some of them and you put them in like a little pan, you just flash it over the flame until they good and crispy. A lot of them locusts actually taste pretty good from what I was told. You understand? Now, I wouldn't eat a locust unless I had to. You know what I mean? If ain't no chicken around, go ahead and throw me some locusts on that plate. You understand? Because they lawful. In fact, John the Baptist, you understand, he used to eat locusts and honey. You understand? So we're going to read on. It says, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. So there's not a lot of bugs that is lawful. You understand? Of the bugs that is lawful, you know what I mean? You got the beetle, you got the grasshopper, and you got the locust. Locusts look like a big old grasshopper. You understand? A big old grasshopper. You understand? All those things are lawful. You understand? It says, but all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. And for these shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean even until the even. You understand? And what that means when it says unclean until the even, you know, Israel, we have a custom. You understand? Where if you do something or you touch something that makes you unclean until the evening, you understand? We have a practice where you would wash your body with water and you would be unclean until sundown. You understand? For instance, if you had sex with your rib, and you know what I mean, and seed comes from your body.
I said Jamaican people, our people.
Okay, Trey Davis says, is Jamaican people our people? The answer to that is yes. Jamaicans are the tribe of Benjamin. You understand? There's the tribe of Benjamin. Just like the Haitians are the tribe of Levi. You understand? So Jamaicans are 1,100,000,000% our people. You understand that? Guess what? The Native American is our people. The Mexican is our people. We are all one family, 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? You have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The southern kingdom would make up the tribe of Judah, which is a so-called Negro in America. Then you would have the tribe of Benjamin, which is the so-called Jamaican and West Indian. And then you would have the Haitian, which is the tribe of Levi. That makes up the southern kingdom of Israel. And the North American Indian and all the Hispanic tribes will make up the northern kingdom of Israel. All right? Does that answer your question, or you need us to go further on the tribes, on the tribe of Benjamin? You understand? While he's answering that, go ahead and read on. It says, let me see, where was I at? And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. You understand? So if you end up touching something or having one of those, one of the carcass of one of those unclean animals, you know what I mean, and touch your clothes, you're supposed to wash your clothes and you be unclean until the evening. You understand? All right. And verse 26 says, the carcass of every beast, which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. You understand? So we're going to break that all the way down. It says, the carcass of every beast which divided the hoof. Now remember, a lawful animal is an animal that has a divided hoof and is cloven-footed, meaning that it's got two toes, kind of, sort of, and on the bottom of those two toes, it's got two hooves that are split, like a split hoof. You understand? Those are lawful. You understand? But an animal that has a split hoof but is not cloven-footed, that is unlawful. Salakia. And they are unclean unto you. Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean. Verse 27 says, and whatsoever goeth upon his paws. There we go. We're going to go back to Moab for a second. Because guess what? They not only do they like to eat bats, which I didn't even know about. I didn't even know about until this coronavirus thing hit, that these Moabites was out here eating bats. You understand? I had no idea that was going on. You understand? That was news to me. I was shocked to hear it. And I wasn't surprised at the same time. I was shocked and not surprised at the same time. You know what I'm saying? However you can imagine that feeling, that's what I felt when I found out they was eating bats. You understand? I was shocked and completely not surprised at the same time. You understand? So, you know what I mean? So whatsoever goeth upon his paws. Guess what? What has paws? Lions have paws. Cats have paws. Dogs have paws. You understand? You can go on the internet and find all types of videos.
Right.
You know, it ain't even about the pictures no more. You know, pictures can be Photoshopped. But good night, how do you explain a video of this man slamming a dog on his head and then taking a blowtorch and burning the dog alive to burn his fur off? You understand? These Moabites, man, they are some ruthless animals. You understand? That's why, listen, when we say that all these nations need to be locked in cages, listen, man, we doing them a favor by putting them in cages. We are going to do these nations such a huge favor by putting them in slavery, by ruling over these nations, man. You understand? You know what I mean? Like, like it's gonna be such a benefit to the Chinese man to not have to eat bats anymore, to not have to eat pangolins anymore. You know what I'm saying? Guess what, China man, you want to know how to never have the coronavirus again, how to never have another SARS outbreak? You know what I'm saying? You just hand over all your wealth and power to the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You understand? Y'all just go ahead and just start serving the I.S.U.P.K, man, and follow our laws. You understand? Fall under our rulership, and y'all ain't gonna never have no coronavirus again, man. You understand? And guess what? If the whole world did it, start paying your tribute. You understand? Start, if you an African country, Nigeria, and y'all got the coronavirus out there, man, start paying your tribute to the I.S.U.P.K, man. Start paying your tithes, man. You understand? And guess what, man? Y'all start following our laws and fall up under our leadership, man. Fall up under our rulership, man. Go ahead and start serving out your slavery. Go ahead and do it, man. You understand? Y'all serve our oppressor. Y'all serve the devil like it ain't nothing. You understand? But yet, you know, he ruled the earth, and everybody dying every day over some, you know, over some type of virus outbreak that's just killing the whole world. You understand? That's because we have wicked leadership in this world. You understand? We have wicked rulers in this earth, man. The earth needs to be ruled by blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and no one else. You understand? Every nation on this earth has had a chance to rule the earth. You understand? And all of y'all have failed, man. You understand? You wanna really bring world peace? You just need to fall under the rulership of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Because leave it up to y'all gonna be dying of global pandemics left and right. You know what I'm saying? World wars and all that. You understand? We're gonna read on. And all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you. You understand? Whosoever touches the carcass, their carcass shall be unclean unto the evening. You understand? Guess what? You know, you might have a dog. You know what I mean? Your dog might have died. Well, guess what? You know, you got to bury your dog. You know, you got to get rid of the dog body. You can't just let it lay in the yard.
Right.
And you know what? You know, when you have to dispose of your dog body, yeah, maybe you got a farm and one of your pigs died. You got to get rid of the pig body. You know what I mean? Things happen. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be unclean until the evening. You understand? All these laws are in place to stop global pandemics from happening. You understand? That's how you prevent global pandemics. It's by understanding that if you unclean, you need to separate from people.
Right.
This is quarantine. You understand? We quarantine for simple things in Israel. You understand? You got your hair braided last night, huh? All right, no sweat. You understand? You unclean. Of course, getting your hair braided. That's a old school UPK joke. Some of y'all might not get that one. If Maradaki called one day and be like, "Salaka, sir, I can't make it to camp. I got my hair braided last night." You already know what it means. You know, then you got to ask no questions. You already know. Like, listen now. You know what you're supposed to do, right? You know you're supposed to be at camp, right? You understand? But that's an old UPK term. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, for everybody who don't know, Maradaki does not have braids. So that's why it's so funny. Because, you know, that's just an old UPK joke. But, you know, brothers have been in the school for a minute to understand. And he that beareth the carcass of them, hold on, I think I already read this part. Give me 1 second here. All right, so we're going to skip down. All right, so verse 29 says, These also shall be unclean unto you, among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. The weasel is unclean. You understand? And the mouse is unclean. And the tortoise after his kind. You understand? So the tortoise, the turtle. You know what I mean? The Ninja Turtles is unlawful. You understand? The Ninja Turtles ain't unlawful. eating turtles is unlawful. You understand? But they are unlawful. I know I used to hear a lot growing up. I never actually seen it, but I've heard a lot about it. But people talk about turtle soup. You ever heard that? Turtle soup? They say that the way most people prepare turtle soup is you serve it in the turtle shell. I've never. Have you ever heard of that? Oh, I'm shocked about that one. I don't really know about all the kind
Iguana
of stuff.
soup.
Huh?
I heard the iguana soup. Like
Iguana soup.
Iguana.
Damn,
It's
I've
like a
never heard of
Mexican
that.
delicacy.
Iguanas? Damn, it's a car. It's a car showing out with that one. Iguana soup. Like, iguana is unlawful.
Right.
You understand? That is unclean unto you. You understand? Chameleons, salamanders, snakes. Matter of fact, we're going to get into it. It says, and the ferret. And you know what the ferret is, right? You know, the ferret, that's that. Man, I can't even describe it. It looked like a
squirrel type of thing.
Yeah, it looked like a squirrel rat snake. A rat squirrel snake. You know, it's like a snake with fur, with feet that look like a squirrel. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you're hard picturing it, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just.
It's a weird looking animal, man. It's like a long animal with a big furry tail. A lot of people have them as pets.
It almost look like a possum or like a little raccoon or something.
You see? Yeah. It kind of got like a raccoon face.
Mm-hmm.
Look like a skunk, really.
Yeah. People eat that?
Somebody had to eat it for the Lord to tell us it's unlawful. Somebody had to eat it. The Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments because of what the other nations were doing. You understand? Like I tell you what, one of the things that'll be like if the Lord was to give us the law all over again today. Right now, the first thing on the list would be don't eat the bat. Don't eat it. Don't be like the Moabites. Don't be like the Chinese and eat the bat. Don't be like the oppressor and eat raw meat. You understand? Cook your meat. You understand? Don't be like the oppressor and eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. And don't be like whatever. I'm willing to bet the Moabites is eating them things right now. Chinese man, you know he eating ferret.
They call this shit exotic food.
Exotic food. If he eating bat, he eating ferret. You know what I mean? At the Wuhan market, that they say it's a wildlife market where you specifically go. If you want to go in there and buy you a lion head, guess what? You go in there and get you some lion head at Wuhan supermarket. You understand? If you're trying to go buy you a eagle's leg, some eagle legs, that's where you go and buy them at. You know what I mean? You trying to buy you some jaguar paws, you go to the Wuhan market. Some jaguar paw soup. You know what I mean? That's where you go to. You understand? You want to buy you some anaconda sushi, that's where you go to buy it at Wuhan market. You know what I mean? That's what I would pay money just to see them Moabites wrestling the anaconda. I'd go there just to see that, man. I just want to see y'all bring. Can I look at it? I want to see them bring it out, and then be like, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. Y'all go ahead and put them back. You know what I'm saying? Just to see them carrying that anaconda, man, just wrestling that thing. That'll be worth the trip. You know what I mean? If you don't catch the coronavirus, you know what I mean? I ain't shaking nobody's hand, wearing a gas mask and a hazmat suit to walk through China, man. You understand? All right, so we're gonna get straight to it. It says, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. And that now snail, you know, of course we know what chameleons are. Chameleons are them lizards that change colors, like they stick up on a tree, and if it's surrounded by red leaves, they turn red. You know what I mean? If they, surround the green leaves, they turn green. If they on the branch, they turn brown. The lizards that change colors. It says, and the lizard, it's just like the iguana soup. Those things are unlawful. You understand? And the snail, another word for snails, they call it escargot. Now, I've killed many snails in my life, and I've never once looked at a snail and thought to myself, I sure would like to cook that bad boy up and eat it. Because them things are like living snot balls. You understand? And people out here eating them. And the mole. You understand? It says, these are unclean unto you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them when they be dead shall be unclean until the evening. You understand? With that, I'm going to save this spot right here. And next week, we're going to get back to it. You understand? We're going to get back to it. We're going to do a series on unclean and clean and unclean. And with that, I'm going to pass the class off to...
Nah, he ain't got no.
Oh, Salaki. I got the announcement. All right. So, I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After a 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We're still waiting on an update on the Passover. You understand? As soon as we get an update from the generals, we're going to go ahead and have it posted on all our social media. You understand? And I.S.U.P.K, remember to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, it's boots, shirts, pants, headband, and war scarf. With that, shalom.